Kansas and Duke.
Duke starting off in man-to-man, and the key matchup is right with the ball out front. Devon Dotson, number 1, going against Trey Jones, number 3 in white.
Marcus Garrett drives and misses, and here comes Duke. And Duke starting Jones along with Jordan Goldwire in the backcourt tonight.
That's an excellent defensive backcourt. The issue is how many points can they score, and will they be able to stretch the defense?
That is Matthew Hurt, one of the prized freshmen of the Duke program. Misses when Kansas goes big, and they're big right now with David McCormick out there. It's a challenge for Hurt on McCormick. It's a challenge for McCormick on Hurt. And how about the backdoor feed as Azubuike finds O.J. Abaji, and Kansas scores first.
Just a beautiful backdoor, taking advantage of the overplay and eliminating help. That's what Bill Self and his staff work with their team on in order to take advantage of Duke's pressure defense.
Stanley and Abaji, two great athletes. Stanley, no. And the rebound is ripped down by McCormick.
Boy, how about that outlet pass by McCormick?
A Kansas team that had won 14 consecutive Big 12 regular season titles until last year, looking to start a new streak this season.
A really good defense by Cassius Stanley to come over from the weak side and take that pass away.
Dotson is second game tonight. Can't get much better than that.
Well, Cassius Winston, I think the best point guard in the country all around. The best passer, can score.
Hurt, step back over McCormick, and he knocks it down.
Boy, what a beautiful shot by Matthew Hurt. There you can see his versatility. Got right into the chest of McCormick, kind of knocked him back, and then faded away.
McCormick not looking for that 17-footer. They're going to pound it in at every opportunity to Azubuike.
Azubuike double-teamed when he caught it. He's got to do something quick with that. Kick it back out in the immediate attack.
Garrett. And remember that point last year, they had some injuries. Garrett became a much bigger part of the offense, mostly doing that, getting downhill.
Well, he's a right-hand driver, and he oftentimes will drive off of Devon Dotson's penetration. But you got to take that right-hand drive away from him.
Hurt for 3.
Boy, how good is that? I mean, just a little jab step and knocked the shot. Now, the first shot he took almost broke the backboard, and the last 2 have been spectacular.
So he's gotten over the jitters. Took him about 30 seconds to get over the jitters.
Yeah, he got over in a big way, but you're going to see a lot of that. He just knows how to play.
And he was heavily recruited, well, by everybody, but Kansas, a guy who can score from 3, they can start him off at the elbow, run some offense through him there.
Here's the other guy at the elbow, Vernon Carey, a lefty who can play both inside and out.
6'10", 270, but with some range.
Wondered where the points were going to come from. Looked like they found it.
Dotson turns it over. He's caught behind the play. 5-on-4. Trey Jones pulls up for 3.
Well, Dotson looked like he tried to seek out contact instead of just lay that ball in with your right hand. Why are you trying to go to the other side when you're going into the contact? Take the easiest path and the easiest shot. Here comes the double team. Good dive.
Comes into the game. Remember, suspended for all of last season. Appealed what was originally basically a 2-year suspension. The appeal granted, and he is playing now for the Jayhawks. What a steal by Abaji. And then he turns it over. Javin DeLaurier is in the game now for Duke, but the loose ball winds up to Kansas.
How about that play by Abaji?
How good was he second half of the year after they pulled his red shirt? He
coughed it up on a 3-second call underneath.
Jack White is in the game now for Duke.
And Duke going to try to put these big guys in as many ball screens as they can. Silvio De Sousa is going to have to move his feet out there, and that's a lot of ground to cover. Trey Jones taking advantage of it.
Inside, Azubuike surrounded, kicks it out to Garrett.
Okay, Azubuike's got to go straight up with that.
Finished the second opportunity strong.
Ultimately, because of the drive with the left hand by Garrett, he wound up getting the dunk anyway, but he's got to go up strong every time he gets it down low.
White airballs his first attempt from beyond the arc. Remember, the three-point line longer this year. The rule changes in college.
A way to tip off the season.
Yeah, it's a sport that for many years needed an official or even unofficial opening day. And there are lots of games going on. I think we said 148 games going on in Division I men's college basketball.
Good dive
tonight. De Sousa, a travel.
To keep going inside. It's just an issue of what's the best lineup. Can they go with these 2 big guys and continue to get up and down the floor and get out on the perimeter and guard ball screens?
This is Wendell Moore Jr., another part of the freshman class for Duke, 6'6", from Charlotte. people look at the Duke freshmen and some of them will compare them to last year's freshman class, which of course is totally unfair. Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett in particular came in, you know, mature and
there's better. Yeah, there's really good. Yeah, those are lottery picks, and I'm not sure there's a lottery pick, at least right now, among this class, but they're first rounders and good players.
And another turn
to the basket, just going up and dominating.
You know, and again, so many programs are used to starting off with an easier game than what these four teams are going to see here tonight. What a follow there by Alex O'Connell, but neither he nor Moore could get it to go.
This Duke team has a lot of different options. It's going to be interesting to see how it formulates a rotation over time.
Good no call there in the finish by Dotson.
Well, he is a courageous driver.
Moore getting down the court in a hurry, but can't get it to go.
And Kansas has to continue to attack the paint, not just getting the ball into the big guys, but driving it.
Haji trying to do it. Good D there by Delorier. Azubuike, nobody to pass to. And he's ball front for the first.
And Kansas really going a little bit smaller with 4 around 1 and ratcheting up the defensive pressure. It's like the cone of silence.
Azubuike is not imaginary, as he is called a possible 65 first place votes in the preseason poll. It's the first time in Spartans program history they've been the preseason #1. Tom Izzo has an outstanding team.
Yeah, he's got Cassius Winston back, the best point guard in the country at both ends of the floor. Just a spectacular player, and was the best player on the floor in the Elite 8 game last year. What a move by Wendell Moore.
By the way, it's the first #1, #2 matchup where the game is the opener for both teams since 1975. Indiana was #1, UCLA #2, and they met on opening night. Choices. Just past the midway point of the first half, tied at 18. Delorier with a shot fake and a drive, but he couldn't finish. And Azubuike grabbing that rebound.
Well, Azubuike never should have gone for that shot fake, but Delorier has to finish that. That was just too easy.
That was Jalen Wilson, another member of the freshman class for Kansas out of Denton, Texas, missing that three. Trey Jones, how big is it? He says he got fouled, but Jay, how big is it for Trey Jones to make 3-pointers this year?
Well, he's got to make a higher percentage than he did last season. He shot about 26%, and I think he's capable of shooting much better, and he's taking it with confidence at least.
Moore in transition from Jones. Good hustle by Stanley to keep it alive. Garrett now at the point. Marcus Garrett can really play 4 different spots for Bill Self. He'll be the backup point guard. He'll get the ball when Dotson's not in the game.
Kansas back with 2 big guys, with DeSosa and Azubuike.
Moore and Enaruna. 15-footer over him, and Enaruna got a piece of it.
Another tough shot.
Agbaji lays it in. Said he has to be their go-to scorer on the wing this year to complement Dotson on the outside and Azubuike on the inside.
And Agbaji averaged 20 points a game in the 2 exhibitions. He had 21 and 19. And shot the ball pretty well from 3. He was 8 of 15 in those 2 games from 3.
Jack White with a drive, turns it over, and then Kansas gives it right back.
It was a poor decision.
And they did reset the shot clock there. 11 turnovers now committed by the Jayhawks in 12.5 minutes.
And there's a difference in not having a true point guard on the floor for Kansas. Marcus Garrett playing the point. He was taking off in transition instead of coming back to secure the ball from his big guy. And that led to the turnover. Devon Dotson at the scorer's table to come back in.
And Aruna with a drive, and he's had an impressive first few minutes.
Boy, too easy to get all the way to the rim with nobody stepping in front.
And he almost forced another turnover. Azubuike couldn't come up with a loose ball. Now he's got White on him. And a travel.
Just have a problem with that.
It's one of the mysteries we're not meant to unravel.
This has been a turnover fest. An absolute turnover fest.
O'Connell the steal, Jones the lay-in, 2-point game.
That is 12 turnovers now for Kansas. And when Kansas's big guys have been handling the ball, it's been turnover. The pressure has really been difficult for Kansas to deal with. Right now, off the ball, Devon Dotson working off the ball and Garrett handling it and turns it over again.
Fortunate to get it back. Trying to get Trey Jones away from the ball pressure, but that means not giving the ball to Dotson.
Double team, almost another walk.
Dotson inside, McCormick left hand, and it spins off the rim. Abaji. And the finish not there for McCormick. Azubuike, no. It's still loose and live, and final. Looked like McCormick tripped over the right knee of Delorier, but it goes as a travel on the Jayhawks. O'Connell can't get the shot off. Now Delorier. Carry inside.
Wound up walking or tossing it away.
And again, first game, right? Everybody's adrenaline is pumping, trying to do a little bit too much maybe against very high-level competition for both teams.
Well, it's a personnel issue too.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing two bigs, you know, Duke's pressure with their athleticism and ability to get into these guys has really caused Kansas a lot of different problems.
And how many years did we see a Bill Self Kansas team use the two bigs and use it with great success? But the game has changed, right? It's evolved a little bit from where it was 8-10 years ago.
There's offensive foul. Necessary or excessive. So he gets surprised again in a good way.
Carey going right at Azubuike, and the follow by O'Connell.
There you see the athleticism of Alex O'Connell coming in from the perimeter. Nobody laying a body on him to box him out.
We're tied at 22, the fifth tie here in the first half. Abaji over the top. Good help there by Jones.
And that's where Azubuike, he had an opportunity there to tear the rim down. He brought the ball down. He's got to keep that higher. Kansas did a better job of spacing the floor to get him isolated.
And O'Connell knocks down a three.
Don't think of that word means what you think it means.
By the way, we're going to see Adlon Gilder back up in the roster.
Yes.
So get ready for that.
Florin and Gilder?
Yes. Delorier into Hurt. Hurt again. Delorier gets it. Players busted. Again, Goldwire and Jones starting in the backcourt.
He's going a little double stack low and then isolating Carey in the post. He's got to get the ball. He was open early.
Azubuike starts the second half with 2 fouls. Carey almost turned it over.
Well, that was a really nice.
Big as Carey is, he's given up some size when he's trying to back down a guy like Azubuike.
There's. Watch it go up. He doesn't need to dribble.
McCormick, tough catch. And tough finish.
Well, Kansas seems like they're resolute to get the ball inside. Try to put some fouls on this young Duke team and play from in the paint back out.
Matthew Hurt thinking about it and eventually just buries the three. And here's the challenge for McCormick, having to guard out to the three-point line.
Boy, it'd be a challenge for anybody. That little jab step, you move back a little bit, and Matthew Hurt's just going to pull up. It doesn't have to be a big move, but just gets you a little bit off balance. Nice dive.
Another touch, but an immediate double team.
Kansas has to keep better spacing, keep the floor spread.
Garrett behind the back and still gets it up on the rim, but it won't go down.
A good drive, but that time he had to do it to his left. He is more of a more comfortable as a right-hand.
Jones goes left. Won gold in Canada the summer before last and self-recruited him hard, but one of the reasons evidently Hurt chose Duke was when Trey Jones was coming back. They had a relationship, both guys from Minnesota, and one of the reasons why Hurt chose to go to Durham.
Well, Kansas doing a better job keeping the floor spaced and moving the ball from side to side and taking advantage of some switches.
Hurt again, the kick to Goldwire. Goldwire had some good games for Duke last year. Remember the big comeback against Louisville and also against Carolina in the ACC tournament.
Yeah, Louisville only played about 10-12 minutes, but had about that. Kansas trying to not attack on the first side, but it's going to be second, third side.
Another backdoor cut. We saw that in the opening couple of minutes of the game.
Trying to take advantage of the overplay. Just get up into a little 1-4 set, eliminate help, and you got to have more pressure on the ball to take away that pass. Just a beautiful little pocket pass by Udoka Azubuike.
And again,
got a switch.
When Kansas hangs on to the ball, they're doing some good things.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to hang on to it, obviously, with almost 20 turnovers.
How about Goldwire looking for his, misses the three. The long
Chai Abaji with the easy dunk. Wide open underneath.
Azubuike eventually finds McCormick. They had to work hard, but they combined for a bucket.
Nobody rotated down, and Kansas able to take the lead even with all these turnovers. Now Kansas resolute to get the ball inside. Use these big guys.
And Mike Krzyzewski's getting ready to bring a little more experience into the game. The drive by Hurt, the follow by Hurt. Kansas ball.
I'll tell you, they didn't get a bucket there, but Matthew Hurt knows how to play.
Nobody's guarding the big guy. Azubuike beats Duke down the floor.
And Duke not going to call a timeout. They're getting close to a media timeout. Krzyzewski's just going to play through it.
Hurt wide open, around and out on the three.
See if Kansas tries to go inside again.
Good ball movement. Abaji with a high arcing three, and it's 11-0 run for
the game. And Duke going with a little bit more of an experienced lineup out of that timeout. Only one freshman on the floor, and that's Moore. Good pass.
Player, you can run so much of your offense through him at the elbow, or you can use him so many different ways.
Yeah, you can use him pick and pop, and he's a great passer out of the post as well.
Johnson got away from Jones, but only for a moment. Been a long time since Duke had a basket.
That ball needed to go inside, but the pressure on McCormick by Jack White took away his vision. Nice drive.
Azubuike battling for it. It comes to Jones. O'Connell thought about it, now takes it, left it short.
Should have taken it right away. That hesitation, lost it.
Another good outlet by McCormick, and laying it in at the other end is Abaji, and it's a 13-0 run.
Boy, an ill-advised shot because of the hesitation, and it turned into a layup for Kansas. And you're right, another terrific outlet by McCormick.
This is the largest lead of the game for either team. White nowhere to go. Garrett. And then Jones is stripped. Back comes Dotson.
Well, Kansas has to run.
Oh! To the bench, Vernon Carey Jr., one of the freshmen, is back into the game for Duke.
Duke trying to set some ball screens, get Azubuike out on the floor.
O'Connell the drive.
Got away with a couple of the feet there. A good defense by McCormick.
Carey's open and will take the three. A much-needed bucket for the Blue Devils.
Well, he had plenty of time, because that's why you want to put these big guys from Kansas in ball screen situations, because they've got to cover so much ground. So McCormick is out taking the ball, and then he's got to recover all the way to Vernon Carey, the lefty.
And Aruna had some good moments in the first half of the Jayhawks. McCormick, what a fake. And fouled.
He went 10 games or so without knocking down the three.
How about that?
Much more confident this year in his stroke. He's also a very good shot blocker. But having his experience on the floor is going to be important for this Duke team.
How about getting knocked down, getting cut, going back down? Can't trust him to knock down free throws. Does make one of two. And the lead is 4. O'Connell. Boy, Azubuike can clear some space under the rim though. And above it.
Awful lot of dribbling. And another leaving the floor to pass. And Aruna did that in the first half, turned it over. That might be the first turnover for Kansas in the second half.
It is.
What a difference to go 8 minutes without a turnover.
After coughing it up 18 times in the first half. Jones cradles, left hand, got away with it, but doesn't get the bucket.
Azubuike's got to stop and post there.
Great young players that Penny Hardaway's bringing
Well,
up.
Penny Hardaway has nothing but young players. He's got the #1 recruiting class in the country, led by James Wiseman, who can really play. But the best freshman in the country, that's 3 turnovers in a row now. I think Kansas needs a timeout to talk about this a little bit.
And an 8-1 run for the Blue Devils has brought them back within 2 after Kansas had been so good for the first 6 minutes or so of the second half. Garrett turns the corner, gets cut off by Jones.
Nice pass.
Abaji from the corner.
That was the shot they wanted. They couldn't get something to what another pass.
Wow. Jones to Stanley. Jones off the inbounds play, short on the jumper.
Good defense by Devon Dotson. Just a challenge shot by Trey Jones, not the best that Duke could have got.
And McCormick called for
7 minutes, and it's been back to what was going on in the first half, which is coughing the ball up like crazy.
As you can see, 25 turnovers committed on the night. Knocked away by Garrett. Abaji out ahead of the pack, and what a recovery by...
Duke's had some success getting the ball inside to carry. There they go high-low.
White for three.
Well, took advantage of McCormick, got the shot they wanted. That was really well executed. And just in and out.
Both of the big guys, Carey and Azubuike, doing a nice job passing out of the post as Kansas gets back within one.
Well, and you have a threat like Jack White can knock down that three. Kansas, when they go high-low with two big guys, don't have that threat. And so Duke's got much more space to be able to pass the ball. And McCormick doesn't want to get out and pressure Jack White because he can go by him.
Jones the drive, cradles, banks it off the glass, but no good. And another good outlet by McCormick. You know, Abaji, I don't think he saw Azubuike racing down the court to his right. Might have had the big fella for a dunk.
How do you miss something that big?
I know. 7 foot 270, rumbling down beside you.
I can see how you wouldn't be able to see Devon Dotson maybe, but you should see Azubuike. McCormick was wide open. Azubuike didn't even look.
Shot clock running down, and they won't get it off.
Justin Thomas, an Alabama Crimson Tide, comes from Louisville.
Hurt back into the game.
You think Woodland and Thomas were watching the first half going, dude, we don't hit the ball out of bounds as often as you guys turned it over. Like, really?
That's right. Kansas looking to take the lead back here in spite of all these turnovers.
I think 1-4 set now, fade screen. They didn't get the backdoor cut, but now the ball's moving side to side. There it is. Really well done to get the ball inside.
Azubuike kicks it right back out. 5 to shoot. Gets it back. Now he's got a problem. And it'll be another shot clock violation.
With a pin pulled out with a couple seconds left, and yet another turnover. They're going to have 30 turnovers by the end of this game.
And when you're as big as he is, you're going to see an instant double team almost every single time you catch the ball. Moore keeps the dribble alive, finds the Laurier, swatted away. I think it was Garrett.
McCormick on.
5 to shoot. Jones the drive. Lost it.
Nowhere to go, just big bodies.
Ooh. And nearly a giveaway in the backcourt. Over the top. Maybe a little push off there by it. And they're up by 2, and they're on their feet.
27 turnovers, up by 2. I don't think that's ever been said in a game before.
Carey going to work.
Got the foul on Azubuike. Devon Dotson, here he is, comes back and gets the ball. He's got to run the point. He's been looking to get down the floor so he can try to get some early offense, but he's got to run the team. Got the switch, now he's got Hurt on him.
Long jumper, McCormick won't go down. Corner 3 and a big one for Hurt.
He is a difference maker. I think this last 340, Duke's got to look more to him to let him touch the ball and let him take on one of these Kansas big guys, make them guard him.
And McCormick having trouble staying with him out beyond the arc. Garrett the drive. The timeout came at a good time for KU. 1 of 2 to tie. Well, somebody's getting a loss here tonight, but you can't lose a season in one game here in college basketball, and that's what makes this event so great. I mean, remember last year, remember what happened to Kentucky here in this event in any Big Ten, and they could wind up playing Kansas out in Maui. So they might play all 3 other programs who are here in the first as well. Inside 3 minutes to go in a tie. Dotson gets by Jones and lays it in with a left hand.
Boy, what a beautiful drive and finish. Just bounces off of people and will not take his eyes off that rim. Just a beautiful left-handed layup.
Hurt little stutter step, kicks it out.
I think Hurt's got to touch the ball more.
Stanley driving by Abaji, and he answers, and will points in the second half alone for Cassius Stanley tonight.
And now where does Kansas go for scoring? Trying to get the ball from side to side. Here's the matchup we wanted to see. Trey Jones on Dotson. Dotson almost throws.
4 to shoot. Dotson the drive. Off the glass again. No good.
And Dotson out of the play. Duke's going to have an advantage here. Need to take advantage of it. There it is.
O'Connell. Great rebound by White. New rule this year. Offensive rebound. Shot clock only resets to 20.
Just like the FIBA rule where it resets to 14. The logic there, you don't have to bring the ball up again.
Pull up Jones. What a bounce.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a little fade screen here. Some action where Kansas can get a shot off the fade.
Garrett the drive. And he gets the bounce to make it a 1-point game.
Boy, and that was a tough left-handed drive. Usually Marcus Garrett more of a right-hand driver. That time putting it on the deck with his left for the finish.
Jones with the ball, and we near the final minute of regulation in a 1-point game. Got the switch. Terry surrounded. White going for it. Kansas has it.
Well, Terry just needed to go up stronger. He had a 6'1" guard on him and wasn't able to finish.
Ball screened by Azubuike. Dotson gets the switch.
Oh, what a great play. Bad pass, but a great play by Jack White. That's his second steal of this second half.